Access granted.
God, Church.
Perfect.
Welcome to the Crossover Archive, and today we'll look at a crossover that might have caused us all to be swallowed up by the idiot god Azathoth, which was shown in my previous video, link in the description. We'll travel to the world of Blazblue and its crossover event with Persona 4, Ruby, and Under Night in Birth. Right off the bat I have to mention again that these universes are within Shin Megami Tensei, since Persona is within that universe. This is no problem for Ruby and Under Night in Birth. They are not that big and their art style is similar enough, but the problem might lay with Blazblue. I haven't played all the games of Blazblue. I'm working on the 2 visual novels, but Chrono Phantasma and Central Fiction are just too expensive for me at the moment. Yes, I'm that well off. I also refuse to watch the cutscenes on YouTube, since these stories deserve respect. They must be played and experienced as intended. Because of this I don't know the full picture of Blazblue, so it might work in SMT or it might not. For what I have seen, it fits very well, since art style and similar story atmosphere and elements. While I'm here I might as well mention I've not played Persona 4 or Under Night in Birth for the same reason as Blazblue. I'm sorry, so if you don't mind, can you fill any holes in my trying to stay spoiler free research? I promise to make an upgraded version of this when I get good at life, but since I don't know when that will happen, here we are. Also, I'm focusing on the story mode, so I'm ignoring the other guest characters for now. This event was caused by Rachel's father's device called the Cross-Dimensional Observation System number 20, which makes some sense. It was created for the purpose of cross-dimensional observation and the creation of new possibilities. This is a character crossover while using fragment copies of their worlds or memories as environments. The characters are very good from what I can tell, except for Ruby. She seemed to have uncharacteristically low energy compared to her Volume 1 to 3 self, in the story mode, not pre-fight dialogue. Time period for the main 4 universes doesn't seem too bad. For Blazblue this takes place, I would imagine, during or after, if that's possible, Central Fiction due to ES's inclusion. For Ruby I would say it takes place before the Vital Festival, since I don't think they would have time to come here during or after it. For Under Night I don't think it matters too much. For Persona it possibly took place after Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, based on what I read on the wiki. Due to the investigation team having already met the Shadow Operatives with Labries as a member, as well as Yu Narukami having returned to Tokyo following Golden Week, as mentioned in episode P4A, this means the Blazblue cross-tag battle storyline is treated as a possible follow-up to the events of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Take this as you will. Some time period for the characters seems alright, except for maybe Blazblue, since I'm pretty sure a lot of serious stuff happens during Central Fiction that might prevent characters from participating in this crossover, but it's possible. For power scaling, well, this is shot to hell. The Under Night and Ruby cast are vastly outmatched by Persona and Blazblue, who, based on who you ask, can reach from Moon to Planet to Universal. Especially since the Persona and Blazblue cast are taken from their latest games, which is where they are their strongest. While Ruby is from Volume 3 and Under Night has only one game story that gets better versions over time with more characters plus other changes. From what I can tell, they should not be able to match up to characters from Blazblue or Persona. The only solution to this glaring problem is the good old, since it's a crossover, the powers are automatically scaled to each other. Pure headcanon, but what can you do? Besides power, there is nothing that really says that this is not canon. At the end each character returns to their own world, with their memory, but that's fine since half of them take place at or near the end of their stories anyway, while Ruby will be too busy to remember the adventure with the festival coming. Under Night probably has a lot on their plate too much to remember this. Overall I enjoyed this crossover a lot. It has some lingering problems that I touched on before, but at face value this is an excellent crossover. My enjoyment, 9 Hellfangs out of 10, Logic 8 out of 10, chance for being canon 8 out of 10. With that I'm done for today. Is what I would say if they didn't fucking make an extra story mode where all the guest characters interact. The fuck, man. After all I said, giving it an 8 out of 10 for logic and all that. Remember what I said about Heart Ano in my last video? Well, guess who is in this extra story mode which takes place after the main story after everything was wrapped pretty nicely. This was caused by Hajime still having the blue keystone, which brings more characters from other worlds and causing a clone of Susanoo to appear as the antagonist, somehow. Sigh, look. Ignoring the Demon Bane stuff, this could work. If Demon Bane was not a looming threat, we can just close the book and say, possibly canon. However, with Demon Bane and the fact that more characters from Central Fiction come into this, making this more convoluted, the chances of this being canon is going through the floor. Not to mention there is more on the way, this is just season 2. It's like looking at a train crash. I want to look away until they mash universes that don't fit like a square in a circle hole, but I know I can't, I have to see it because it's part of my mission. If we use the second method I put forth and just throw this to the wolves, it still will all hang on Blazblue's Central Fiction. If something happens in the story that prevents this from happening, we only have 2 options. 1. Give up and call it a dream of a raving fanboy or girl, rendering it non-canon. 2. Since this takes place in a phantom field and phenomenon intervention exists, maybe that could explain how this happened. This could be like those gags in Blazblue that shows possibilities that are canon and not canon at the same time. Since it's a possibility, that means it is still within Demon Bane and Azathoth. The slight problem is that a phantom field only appeared in X-Blaze, a visual novel connected to Blazblue, and it was an area that existed between the boundary and real world made with memory fragments. In this game, however, it seems to jump between the world of Crosstag being made of memories/copies of the worlds or the actual worlds merging. Hopefully it's the former. Despite all this, however, based on the Crosstag wiki, Season 2 might take place after Central Fiction because, as Season 2 episode alternative takes place after Central Fiction, just as Persona Side alternatively takes place after Ultimax, as evident by the presence of Terumi's Susanoo clone rather than a revived Terumi himself, means Hezima and Platinum already separated from both Terumi and Platinum respectively. Yeah, that could be the case, but there is other stuff that contradicts that, like Naoto not knowing the Blazblue cast or that some characters are alive that shouldn't be. Parallel versions is too weak of an argument. This makes me believe this could happen right before Central Fiction or during, but so much is going on that unless time has stopped in Blazblue it wouldn't make sense. It also has to send everyone home after the final season with no memory and maybe explain why and how the other endings exists to clean this mess up. Also, Season 2 is after the third ending of Blazblue in Crosstag, meaning that the third ending was the true ending or that all the endings are canon in their own way, which will make this way too complicated. Maybe I need help in deciphering this puzzle. Comment below if you care to give a hand. Since I'm here, I might as well tell you that Undernight has crossovered with Akatsuki, which strengthens his connection with Undernight in Birth and the others if Crosstag is proven to be possibly canon. Eltnam also appeared in Undernight. Guess where she's from? Fucking Nasuverse, the same that appeared in Demon Bane's Nitro Plus Blasters. If I did not watch her particular story mode and researched a bit, this would be very damning. However, the Eltnam that appears in Undernight is not the same that appears in Nasuverse because of her fourth wall breaking abilities, which the Nasuverse versions don't have. The personality, size, and outfit is also different. She also has abilities from 2 different versions of her, Hermes to be exact. The fact she's referred to as a wanderer, I suspect that she is a wandering higher dimensional being that is just using that form. This higher dimensional being has to be able to travel to or at least see into the mind of Azathoth for her to be able to take this form. This should keep those universes apart. Headcanon I know, but the Eltnam of Nasuverse is not a Deadpool character, so I think this makes some sense, at least more sense than the actual Eltnam being there. You have to admit though, it does sound cool and adds more mystery to the Eltnam shown in Undernight. Still correct me if I missed something. Sigh, they really dodged a bullet there. Okay, right now my scores have dropped. My enjoyment, 8 wilting roses out of 10, logic 6 out of 10, chance for being canon 4 out of 10. This really had promise, and gameplay wise it's still amazing, but as a crossover story it is pretty flawed and messy. Very fun to read, torture to explain. What's sad is that I wanted this to be canon, because to just push this monolith of a crossover under the rug and say it never happened seems wrong. It's too big and has too many great moments to throw into the non-existent trash. Let's wait for Season 3 to see if it makes this mess even more stupid or fixes it. With that, I'm done.
Lay down your troubled mind.